chain of islands that stretches between Japan and Russia contains the weakest links in their diplomatic ties. In all, there are 56 Kuril Islands, but it's the southernmost 4 at issue, controlled by Russia and contested by Japan. Before World War II, 17,000 Japanese people lived on them. Now, those old enough to remember those days can only see their former home from afar. Russia captured the islands in the final days of the war. Moscow says the US president at the time, Franklin D. Roosevelt, told Soviet leader Joseph Stalin that he could take the Kurils in exchange for joining the war against Japan. The promise was allegedly made at the Yalta Conference in 1945. It was there the victorious Allied leaders divvied up the post-war world. But due to deep roots of national heritage, the islands remain an emotional issue in Japan, where they're still called the Northern Territories. And they remain the reason why, decades after the end of the Second World War, Japan and Russia still haven't signed a peace treaty.
Это не предварительные требования, это просто стремление понять, почему Япония единственная страна в мире, которая не может сказать «я признаю итоги Второй мировой войны в полном объеме». Это на самом деле так.
Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and Russian President Vladimir Putin have met in Moscow, their 25th meeting in 5 years, to discuss the dispute.
Мы, Россия, Родиной не торгуем! Курилы, русская земля! Курилы, русская земля!
But there's strong public pushback in Russia to ceding any territory. Russian politicians have called for a guarantee that Japan wouldn't allow US missile facilities on the Kurils before any deal can be made, even as Russia has fortified the islands and held military drills. And while a peace treaty would be welcomed by Russia and Japan, neither appears willing to give ground on their national interests, which may mean that no ground is given at all. Randolph Nogel, The Newsmakers.